is no night like opening night as we get set for the lid lifter for the Edmonton Oilers as they take on the Calgary Flames. And Drew, it's made even more special. 30th anniversary of the 1984 Cup Championship.
And you see Lee Fogolin, Mark Messier, and Wayne Gretzky walk out onto the ice. I don't care if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, a Calgary Flame fan, it's got to be something special because you're a hockey fan first and foremost.
First thing we have to do is introduce the starting goaltenders, brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL. 28-year-old Kari Ramo gets the first start of the year for him. Jonas Hiller took the loss last night against Vancouver. And at the other end, Ben Scrivens is the season opening starter for the Oilers. Last year, he finished 11th in save percentage in the NHL at .922. First of 5 meetings between these two Alberta rivals. It is the 216th edition of the Battle of Alberta, and it's underway. Paul, Nugent Hopkins, and Eberle will start up front. Brad Hunt, who surprised many coming out of training camp, is with Jeff Schultz.
Dallas Eakins really liked Brad Hunt, particularly on the power play and that heavy shot.
Backlund, along with Glenn Cross and David Jones. David Jones did not start last night. Dallas Eakins in his second year, and we talked to him about what it's like and what he's learned, and the one word was patience.
Patience. He wants to be, and he thinks he is a little bit more patient with the guys. He thinks that his Edmonton Oilers team now understands that he believes in them. He's got their back, and now he can just be a little bit more gentle touch when trying to get the guys to get on that process we talked about at the start.
Boyd Gordon wins the faceoff. He is with Hendricks and Joensuu. Sean Monahan, who had such a great rookie year for the Calgary Flames last year, is with Yuri Hudler on one side. And Paul Byron, who got the goal last night to get things started for the Calgary Flames, he has the puck right now. He gets checked there by Hendricks, shot right on, and Ramo makes the first save. And then he will cover up and hang on. A little pushing and shoving at the side of the net between Hendricks and Engelland. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you as always by Ford, official automotive partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
For the Edmonton Oilers, puck passion. And by that, I mean that Dallas Eakins wants his team to be as passionate at getting the puck back as they are when they've got it on the attack. Kelly Rudy in between the benches, what do you got?
Well, gentlemen, I have the great puck-moving defense of the Calgary Flames, Giordano, Brody, Russell, and Diaz, and how if they can move that puck quickly and skate the puck out of trouble, it might give the aggressive Oilers problems.
And Mark Giordano is going to have lots of opportunity, Kelly. He played over 25 and a half minutes last night. This is Lance Boma with a shot, and that one goes just wide. There is the captain, Giordano. Puts it behind the net, and it just got by Coburn. Getting knocked down there right the near side was Mason Raymond. Raymond with Coburn and Johnny Goodrow. Johnny Hockey. Hobie Baker winner out of Boston College.
So is he Johnny Manziel's cousin? Johnny Football's cousin?
Johnny Football becomes Johnny Hockey for the winner.
Love it.
5'9", 150 pounds. But last night he was with Coburn and Byron is 5'7". Staging shot steered aside by Scrivens. The puck comes around the near side. Waiting for it is Diaz. Diaz making his first appearance in a Calgary Flame uniform. Did not play last night. He takes the place of Dennis Weidman tonight. Benoit Pouliot looking for Yakupov, just out of his reach. Yakupov gets to it, wearing number 10. Long shot deflected. And big Pouliot in front. But it is Kari Ramo who makes this save. Second shot for the Oilers.
Good start for the Edmonton Oilers in the offensive zone. Puck back, and then Kelly right to the net. As a goalie, Kelly, when the guy's right in front of you, what do you got to do?
You have to get out to him. That's what Kari Ramo did a great job of, making sure that he takes away that angle on the deflection. Ramo read the play extremely well and took away that deflection.
Kari Ramo was battling a little bit of a hip injury in training camp, but he doesn't look any worse for wear tonight. He won 17 games for the Flames last year. TJ Brody, a partner of Mark Giordano. They will see a lot of ice out against the top line as Eberle lets the shot go and Ramo makes the save.
Jordan Eberle named alternate captain this last week, and when you look at Jordan Eberle, he's saying all the right things. We talked to him yesterday about first game jitters, and he said, you know what? It's the first period you try to get out there in that first shift. Once that first shift is over, everything seems to settle down. Said he's not very superstitious. He just wants that first shift over with so he can get into his game.
How about his first game in 2010, the season opener against the Calgary Flames in 2010? He had a goal and an assist. Not a bad way to break in to the NHL, Gene.
With Rogers NHL Game Center Live, you can live stream over 1,000 in and out of market games, including the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now get a free subscription until December 31st, 2014. If you're a Rogers Internet or wireless data plan customer, go to rogers.com/NHL.
And you get all those great camera angles, the real unique ones.
Down the boards and gets it to Teddy Purcell. He gets it back again. Mark Arcobello is the center on that line. He'll get it to Purcell behind the net. Purcell comes out of the corner. Up top, Fane with a shot. And Arcobello knocked it down and back the other way. Comes Jones. Jones is stopped. He was with Backlund, but Fane turned him aside. Fane and Nikitin, the newcomers, paired together. Long pass intended for Jones doesn't work, and it's picked up there by Yakubov. Yakubov avoids the hit from Jones as the Calgary Flames make a change. Coburn with Goudreau and Raymond. And Draisaitl is offside.
Big improvement by the Oilers, Drew. I know you and Kevin watch them all the time, but adding Mark Fane, take a look at the gap right here. That's excellent defense right there, not allowing Jones to easily enter the Oilers zone. So we're going to see a real improvement on the back end of the Oilers.
Yeah, Dallas Eakins talked about that, Kelly. The fact that you've got bona fide, mature NHLers now. You're not trying to develop guys. They're already got that NHL swagger, and you saw the confidence, as you mentioned, with Fane stepping up and using a very good stick defensively.
72 games played last year with New Jersey at 11 points and a 4-year, $14 million free agent contract. All the way up top, Giordano scores! Mark Giordano gets his first goal of the season, and the Flames draw first blood.
The play goes in behind the net. Kelly, tough play right here for Ben Scrivens.
It is. Coburn had the jump on him. Scrivens was caught behind the net. But the example of this is really what Mark Giordano does really well. And he sneaks in the play. He and his partner Brody do this often. Now they get a break because Scrivens was slow in moving the puck. But you're going to see a lot of this here from that pairing.
Confidence in finding Giordano, without a doubt, and then he's being able to step in, being up on that play.
He was tied for 6th among defensemen last year. He had a career-high 14 goals. Joe Coburn gets the only assist at .316 for Coburn, his second helper of the year. On just the second shot of the period for the Calgary Flames. Taylor Hall trying to barge his way in. Boma takes him into the boards. Everybody there in support, checked by Chris Russell. Ferris pitching in against Stajan. And is banged out by Boma and down the ice. It comes right to Scrivens. He'll give it to Jeff Petrie. Petrie injured his shoulder in camp on September the 19th. Was not able to participate in the preseason. He's out there now, and it's brought in offside. Yuri Hudler was a step ahead of the play, but Giordano gets his first of the year.
Let's take another look at it from the high wide. There's an indecision by Scrivens behind the net. Just nice patience by Giordano to sneak in there, not too far, so he gets into the traffic and takes away that lane. Wise decision by the veteran defenseman.
I thought Taylor Hall could have been a little bit more aware on that play as well, Kelly. He came back to the outside instead of getting his head in the swivel and trying to find the most dangerous man, which was the goal scorer, Giordano.
Isn't that the first part of the season, talking about nervousness and maybe not seeing the ice as well as you normally do?
Opportunity out in front and another goal this time. Yuri Hudler alone in front makes it 2-0 Calgary. A similar play, but this time it's Hudler getting his second of the season.
Once again, it starts behind the net, and Drew, you talked about being too puck-focused. Well, what an example of it here for the Oilers. That once Scrivens makes a mistake back here, and then there's a little bit of confusion, all the Oilers go to the puck carrier and forget about Yuri Hudler right in front.
Kelly, you used to have a saying, the less I play it, the better I play the puck as a goaltender, and I remember you used to say that all the time. Is that a matter of Scrivens should leave that, or there's got to be better communication?
I think it's just the early part of the season that lack of communication, new defensemen, and that trying to do maybe a little bit too much and just not sure where his defensemen are going to be, and alternately his defenseman not knowing what Ben Scrivens is going to do.
You're sure right about that puck focus.
Yep. 2 goals in 1 minute for the Calgary Flames. And Mark Giordano has 2 points. He gets the assist on the goal by Hudler at 4:16.
For a team that played last night, this is exactly how you want to start.
A 4-2 loss against Calgary, and the Flames season opener at home. In fact, they'll be part of 3 home openers, because once they leave here, they'll be heading off to St. Louis for a game Saturday, and that is the Blues home opener. That will start a 6-game road trip for the Calgary Flames. Pouliot works his way to center, sends it long in. Russell going after it. Yakubov using his speed, cuts him off, and he gets the puck back. Yakubov back up top. Shot going wide from Pouliot. Now it's loose in the high slot, and the Flames come away. England. He will dump it in. Derek England, Edmonton native, signed a 3-year, $8.5 million contract to be in Alberta. 6 Albertans are part of this Calgary Flames team. Giordano. Bolek to Stajan. Stajan trying to get the puck over to Boma. Intercepted, and back the other way comes Jordan Eberle. Chips it off the boards, trying to get around TJ Brody. Eberle from the corner. Stajan helping out, comes back, but it's kept in by McKeith. Eberle to Hall with Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins gets it back to Hall. Checked by Stajan behind the net. Hall fights him off. Goes down to one knee. Takes another hit as the puck comes to the far side, and Brody is waiting for it. Brody played 24 minutes and 48 seconds in that game against Vancouver last night. Hall across the blue line. Long shot and a glove save by Kari Ramo. It is Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet. Giordano and Hudler with the goals so far. Coffey had 40 goals, guys, in that season. He was one of 4 players that had over 40 in that season, 1984.
Wasn't he a defenseman?
Wayne Gretzky, 87 goals that year.
Wow.
He shot on goalies like me, Drew.
No, that's not fair to you. What a great player. What a great team that was.
446 goals that season. A little perspective, the Chicago Blackhawks led the league last year, boys, with 267.
Wow. Look at those numbers. You don't know. All you have to do is just look at it and just be amazed.
205 points. Fabulous year now is 100 or 80.
Yeah. That's amazing. I thought what was neat this morning, guys, after the morning skate, when Dallas Eakins called his team together, they had a little talk, and then they all turned and saluted the 84 team, which was at the morning skate. I thought that was a nice moment.
And to have those players in the dressing room after the morning skate as well, and you saw the interaction between the different generations of players. Everybody had worn an Oiler uniform.
And Kelly, you played with the great one.
I sure did, about 8 years in Los Angeles, but it's really cool for me to be in the Oilers dressing room today and be around Grant Fuhr, Andy Moog. It was just a real honor to be around those guys and share some stories. Andy Moog and I, if you can believe it, were at the Okanagan Hockey School back together, I think in about 1976, so sharing great memories, yeah.
Grant Fuhr just 21 years old when they won that cup. Only Patrick Waugh is a younger member of that fraternity to win a cup. He did it with Montreal. He was just 20 years old. Here the Oilers are down by a pair with 12:35 left to go in the first period. The shots are low, just 4 for the Oilers, 3 for the Flames, and if they have goals, Giordano and Hudler have beaten Ben Scrivens.
I think what will be interesting to watch from the Edmonton Oilers' point of view is, will they try to stay aggressive as Dallas Eakins wants? Now down 2-0, you have a tendency to get back on your heels a bit. Don't want to give anything up.
Chris Russell goes up the middle for Goudreau. He gets stopped. He is with Coburn and Mason Raymond. Raymond, a 3-year, $9.5 million free agent deal to come over to Calgary. He had 25 goals as a member of the Canucks in the 09-10 season. Nikitin down low. Kind of battle to keep that puck in against Diaz. Gordon going after it and is picked up by a former Oiler in the form of Ladislav Smith. Gave it away. Joensuu in front. And he was checked by Rafa Diaz.
Aggressive by Nikitin and Fane to keep the puck in for that near chance.
Nikitin at the blue line keeps it in against Raymond. Gets it to Hendricks. Went off the stick of Coburn. A wraparound attempt by Boyd Gordon, and it's stopped by Kari Ramo.
We talked about the changes the Edmonton Oilers have gone through, and as you have a look at the graphic, you see a ton of roster changes. And what Dallas Eakins likes is the NHL swagger of Fane, Nikitin, Pouliot, Purcell. And then Draisaitl has been special to watch. Hunt's getting a chance, and Darnell Nurse, I think the guy's a stud.
I do too, Drew. I do like the two top defensemen you talked about. Those guys are going to have an immediate impact on the Oilers season.
Why, Kelly, you would know better than anybody how important it is to have stable veteran defensemen in front of you as a goalie.
You talking about Lee Fogelin and Charlie Huddy and those guys back in the Oilers' heyday?
Yep.
Randy Gregg?
Dr. Gregg.
They were all here yesterday, and they'll all be here tomorrow night for a special night. Here's Everly cutting in, Fanned on the shot, doesn't get it out in front, and Nugent Hopkins couldn't quite put it home. Nugent Hopkins retains possession down low for Everly. Right out in front it comes and went off the stick of Brody and up into the netting.
Oilers get their first good chance really of the period, but I've noticed the last couple minutes of play they're attacking the net more, and that's Drew, that aggressiveness, but the Calgary Flames do a real good job of defending, and Brody gets a stick on it here. Puck's just going to go across the crease, but Brody's aware. Nugent Hopkins just off to the side. That is having your head on a swivel.
Hey, but you know what else he was aware of? Where he was, because he opened the blade of his stick up. He didn't keep it square, which could deflect it into the net. He opened it up so it went to the corner. I thought that's a pretty heads-up play.
You know, when you watch these two guys, Brody and Giordano, I am not exaggerating. These guys are one of the best defensive pairings in the National Hockey League. And I'm talking about Doughty and Muzzin, and when Char and Seidenberg are together, these guys are that good right now, and they're only going to get better.
Because they work well together.
Giordano with 2 points so far. Russell at the point, moves in. Russell cuts for the net. That's a weak shot goal. Scriven stopped that, but Russell has it again. Russell back to the point. England lets it go through traffic and a pad save by Ben Scrivens. The Flames keep the pressure on. This is Monahan with a high slot looking for Byron. It was tipped away before it could get there by Teddy Purcell.
That's where the Oilers have to really improve their game, that defensive play.
That was Yakubov who made the defensive play. He was out there on that line with Draisaitl. Draisaitl wearing number 29, the number he wore in Prince Albert. Trying to barge his way through is Purcell. Caron joins him. Kept in briefly by Nikitin, but now it's going to come back into the Calgary end on an icing call.
Both teams made 7 roster changes. 7 players out and 7 players in. And if you look at the Calgary Flames, I think one of the biggest additions might be Jonas Hiller and the stability he's going to add for 2 years here in Calgary. And of course, everybody was hoping for Mason Rabin to come home, the Cochrane native, and he's finally wearing a Calgary Flames uniform.
One guy I like there, and I've got a little experience with him, is Devin Setaguchi. The guy is a good offensive player. He loves to make plays. If he can find his confidence again, he could be a real help scoring goals, which is what the Calgary Flames need.
And he's in terrific shape, Drew. I know you spent a number of years with him in San Jose. He looks awesome right now.
And he's, you know what? He's a good kid, and I just want him the best for him. But he has a tendency to kind of lose that confidence. If he gets it back, he's going to be dangerous.
Weird, an athlete losing confidence.
He had 31 goals with San Jose in 2008. He's a 3-time 20-goal scorer. They lost Mike Camilleri, as we saw. That was 26 goals that have to be replaced.
Right.
Does that mean Mason Raymond then?
Probably.
Mason Raymond, 25 goals, as I mentioned, in the 09-10 season. Boyd Gordon with the puck now. He dumps it in. Russell going after it. He's got Joensuu bearing down on him. Avoids the big hit. Gets it to Coburn in the middle. When Coburn was playing with Byron and Goudreau, it was the tower and 2 Timbits, according to the coach. It's Raymond now. Johnny Gaudreau. Well, Gaudreau, of course, is from New Jersey. He didn't even know what a Timbit was. Somebody had to tell him. He went, oh, okay.
That's not that wasn't a compliment from my coach. Penalty coming up.
2-0 the score here. The Oilers on the power play when we come back.
An audience will update them on the fact that the 1984 Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers are holding a 30-year reunion. This was the scene yesterday, a team photo involving Wayne, Mark, Paul Coffey. That was him yesterday, and this is you today. What have the first few days of this gathering been like?
Well, it's been tiring to say the least. It's been there've been a lot of late nights, but a lot of fun. A lot of these guys we haven't seen for a lot of years, and to get back in the city of champions and share the first Stanley Cup that we won and with the city has been a lot of fun.
What's the reminiscing been like with all these teammates that you did what you did with?
Well, it seems like we all remember stories, sometimes the same, but the stories are a little bit different. So it's a lot of fun, and it's been great. And the great part about it, the interesting part is everybody's doing well, everybody's healthy, everybody's got good families, and that's very important.
When you look at the current edition of the Edmonton Oilers, if you guys were down in a game like this, who might step up and say something?
Well, firstly, it would be probably after the first period, Grant Fuhr would come in and say, they're not going to get any more, which my eyes would go like this. Wayne's eyes would go bigger than mine and Mark's, and Wade would go and probably win the game 7-3. But, the young Oilers, it's tough to have a season-opening game with a lot of hype in that. They're not playing that bad in the first period. A couple of mistakes, but hopefully they can do better the rest of the game.
Well, thank you. Enjoy the reunion.
Okay, thanks.
The Oilers on the power play, the first power play of this game. Coburn off for hooking, and Taylor Hall comes close, but the net comes off the moorings.
Another good entry in the zone, and that's something the Edmonton Oilers are very good at. And the drive to the net. I like that drive to the net on the wide side, Kelly, but I think Calgary did an excellent job on taking their man.
Mark Giordano, of course, knowing what his job is right there, taking the man through the net and getting a bit of a break that the net was off its moorings and play called down.
The Oilers 21st in the league last year on the power play. 46 power play goals, but the good news for them, 32 of them came here at Rexall. Calgary's penalty killing was ranked 18th, but they were dangerous. They had 12 shorthanded goals. Here's Perron, quick size, Purcell with a shot, he scores! Teddy Purcell, his first goal in an Oiler uniform. It's 2-1.
A good cutback on the entry by the Edmonton Oilers sets this up, and then there is huge change of a point of attack. It goes from the top, in the middle, to the wide side, to the weak side for a quick shot. That's really hard to defend, Kelly, for any goaltender.
Absolutely, Drew, making him go side to side. I really love the quick pass by Yakupov. He got that going, and then it was just a quick setup by Perron over to Purcell, and you can see the desperation in Rameau trying to get across. Quick release by Purcell as well.
Good point by you. That one-touch pass by Yakupov right away made everything change.
So the first goal of the season is scored by a newcomer in the form of Teddy Purcell. A power play goal, and the lead now is down to 1. 12:59, the time of the goal. And the Oilers look for more. Ferentz goes cross ice for Petrie. Throws it towards the net, goes just wide, takes a weird bounce, and it comes right back to England. Perron and Yakupov get the assists at 12:59. Monahan shot is gloved by Scrivens, and he'll hang on to it.
Century Casino, welcome to the Winner's Zone.
Well, on behalf of the Safeway Score and Win contest and Sponge Towels Ultra, Jay Jacoby of Stony Plain has won the Troy-built electric single-stage thrower. Congratulations on the goal by Teddy Purcell, his first as an Oiler. The Oilers with 8 shots, the Flames with 6. We've got 6:20 left to go in the first period. Long lead pass for Johansson. Giordano and Brody are out there against Gordon, Hendricks, and Johansson. Raymond looking for a bouncing puck. He won't get to it. Keaton got it to Hendricks. He'll go cross ice, and Johansson's got it. Jesse Johansson. Nice move around Schmid. Centering pass. They bang away at it. Boyd Gordon got knocked down, but he did get the puck towards the net, and he's got it again. Gordon from the corner. Sharp angle shot. Joensuu and Hendricks looking for any rebound, but Ramo covers it up, and Ladislav Schmid tries to come in and clean house. Purcell, a power play goal. It's 2-1 in the Battle of Alberta.
Kari Ramo makes his 9th save of this first period. Good little save too, because Joensuu is going behind the net, and it looks as though he's going to continue around to the other side. But nice little clever pass right there to Gordon, but Ramo reads the play and in pretty good position there. Very good positioning by Ramo, and guys, by the way, he had an excellent last half, as you said, Kevin, but I think his preseason was just as good also.
It's amazing how goaltenders now are able to cover everything low.
Payne with a shot, and Ramo has to be sharp to steer that aside.
Speaking of which, heck of a save.
Keaton and Payne are on top. The top line out there for the Oilers. That means Giordano and Brody on the blue line as Curtis Glencross shoots it in. Is with David Jones and Michael Backlund. Glencross squeezed away from the puck. Hall as Brody right in his face, and the Flames keep it in. This is Backlund. Drop pass, and it's picked off by Nugent Hopkins. He gets the pass up to Eberle. Eberle waits for Hall. Now he'll go one-on-one against Brody. Hall comes in for the puck behind the net, gets it to Eberle. Nugent Hopkins side of the net. Eludes Giordano. Nugent Hopkins still has it. He'll go down low to Eberle. Eberle comes out of the corner, plays it back to Keaton. He'll quickly get it across to Schultz. Get it back again. Keaton couldn't get that to set it down, but he'll keep it in temporarily. And it's picked off by Jones, and the Flames will get it out. They want to get a change in as Backlund sends it down the ice. And nobody knew where it was for a while. It went off the netting, but they didn't get a whistle.
Protecting what matters most to you and your team. You're covered with the power of Insight, the official construction insurance broker of the Edmonton Oilers.
Time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Tammy Rohatyn of Vimy, Alberta could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
If we were doing this game in 1984, we might be giving away a lot of prizes.
Yeah, a little tougher now.
Wayne Gretzky, guys, had 205 points in that season. 87 of those were goals.
You got to think there's a few 5-point nights there.
Yeah.
How about 8 points?
Oh, can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I can't, really.
Leon Draisaitl looking for his first NHL point. Is with Benoit Pouliot and Nail Yakupov. Scrivens will play it himself. He has a bigger trapezoid to play it in this year. Draisaitl takes a hit from Boma. Pouliot goes cross ice for Yakupov. Yakupov against Russell. Boma's got it now. He'll play it off the boards. Can't get it out. Hunt able to keep it in. Hunt behind the net for Draisaitl. Draisaitl being watched by Chris Russell. Yakupov in the corner trying to elude Boma. Back to the point. Here's Hunt. He can shoot. Wait, fires it through traffic, and Boma steers that aside. Hunt has it again to Schultz, to the middle, to Pouliot. Pouliot dishes to Yakupov. Quick shot, and there is Kari Ramo again to make the save, and this time he'll cover up.
A little action behind the net.
It wouldn't be a Battle of Alberta if we didn't have this. And I think both franchises are hoping that this happens again in the playoffs. Both teams trying to get to the promised land. Calgary hasn't been there for 5. The Oilers haven't been there for 8.
Well, when you look at the way that the Edmonton Oilers, with the puck, execute, that's why everybody has such high hopes for this team. Because when they've got the puck in the offensive zone, Kelly, they can whip it around and get chances.
Yeah, I really thought Schultz and Hunt moved the puck extremely well together, keeping it wide and then attacking the net. Yakupov with a quick wrister right here. And boy, Ramo's been the story after the first 5 minutes for the Calgary Flames.
He's looked solid doing it, Kelly.
You know, there's a quiet confidence around him. You know, I've been around the team for all training camp, and there's a gleam in his eye that although he knows Hiller's here, to me, it doesn't look like he's bothered or distracted by that at all.
Kenny Purcell coming back the other way. He's got Perron and Petrie with him. Purcell waits, wrist shot. Ramo again makes the save, no rebound. The 14th shot of the period for the Edmonton Oilers.
Those high turnovers are killers. Coaches go gray or they lose their hair completely on plays like that. Good drive. Jeff Petrie, the defenseman, jumping up. He's going to drive the middle. But again, Kelly, let's go to Kari Ramo. Challenge that. I mean, confidently out to take down the angle.
Isn't that a sign when a goaltender's out? I like that. I know a lot of guys say that stay right in the blue paint, but when it looks fairly obvious that the guy's going to shoot, get out there just to the top of the blue or a little bit further and take away all the net you can.
But is it also that a trust issue that you trust your defenseman and do the right thing?
100%.
That puck gets deflected up into the netting off the stick of Nugent Hopkins. Last night, Jonas Hiller faced 33 Vancouver Canucks shots. And Kelly, Jonas Hiller, Kari Ramo, how is that tandem going to work?
You know, I think it's going to be terrific. I just love the fact that they challenge each other. So Hiller, as you know, gave up 3 goals. They gave up an empty netter, but he looked pretty good. I thought Vancouver skated really well for the first 2 periods. Calgary didn't really get their legs until the 3rd, but I think their goaltending is not going to be an issue whatsoever for this season.
It's kind of similar to Edmonton's goaltending situation.
It sure is, although one guy has quite a bit more experience in Hiller. But you know, Hiller's an interesting guy because he had such a great first half of the season until I think he even had a shutout in his first game back from Sochi. And then I just think he is tired, and Bruce Dugo lost some confidence in him, but he's an excellent goaltender.
Nugent Hopkins moving in with Eberle. Eberle back to Nugent Hopkins, deflected on, and Ramo makes the save. Nugent Hopkins and Giordano all over him. Nugent Hopkins now has to deal with TJ Brody. Eberle checked by Giordano. Behind the net is Hall. And again, the captain for the Flames is there. Strips him of the puck and gets it out. Ben Scrivens tonight. The Oilers will start a 3-game road trip, and it will be Victor Foss who will get the start Saturday in Vancouver.
I like what Dallas Eakins said about starting the best goalie they can tonight, and then next game they'll start their other best goalie.
And then we'll be in LA for the game Tuesday, and we'll see who starts that one. They've got back-to-backs, LA Tuesday, Arizona on Wednesday. Johansson with Hendricks and Gordon. Johansson back to the point. Hunt with it now. He'll give it over to Schultz. Schultz waits to the middle for Gordon. Steps a shot, and that one was blocked. Johansson works it back to Hunt. To Schultz. To Hunt. Steps into a shot. Deflected wide. Russell was there to try and block it before it could get through. Hunt again with the puck. Behind the net for Hendricks. Hendricks checked by England as he moves it back to Schultz. Now over to Hunt on the near side. Wrist shot deflected. Goes up high. A bouncing puck comes down in the slot. Hendricks got knocked down and the puck eventually ends up on the stick of Matt Stajan. The Oilers make a change. Get Draisaitl, Yakupov out there along with Benoit Pouliot. We're down to 1:14 to go in this first period. The Flames with a 2-1 lead. Edmonton with 25 shot attempts. Calgary just 8. But it is the Flames who have the lead. Hoover to the middle, and it's picked up now by Brody. Paul Byron, drop pass. And that one sails high off the stick of Sean Monahan. Monahan was a question mark for that game yesterday, suffering from a little bit of flu, but he played and he's playing tonight. Pass was behind Pouliot. Giordano gets a return pass from Schmid as the Flames make changes down to 33 seconds. Glenn Cross chips it in against Mark Fane. Nikitin gets there first, pays the prices. The Flames put pressure on, and that was started by Glenn Cross, who threw a hit on Nikitin, turned the puck over. Raymond trying to take advantage. He is checked there by Fane. Down to 13 seconds, and offside was Teddy Purcell.
Once again, a play below the red line in the Edmonton Oilers zone causes the Oilers some problems because of the Calgary Flames and how they're going on the forecheck. Kelly, again, 2 guys in, everybody gets a little puck focused again.
Absolutely, and then Mason Raymond actually doesn't go to the front of the net. He backs off a little bit, gives himself a little bit of space. And that quick wrister, Ben Scrivens, with a great save. But you're right, they're heavy on the forecheck. I've noticed the last 5 minutes of this or so of the game, guys, it's a lot heavier game right now.
Schultz, long shot, that one misses. And the first period comes to an end on the lid lifter for the Edmonton Oilers. It is the Calgary Flames who have a 2-1 lead. Jeff Merrick is back in the studio. Let's open his mic right now.
Thanks, Kevin. Good to be back with you again for another season of Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet. Coming up this intermission, John Shannon and Doug MacLean will have a sharpening of the pencil on a couple of things. One, the Oilers' net minding situation, maybe a little bit of goalieitis last year. Also, what does the term "no more excuses" mean in Edmonton? The answer to that coming up in moments.
Welcome back inside Rexall Place as we get set for the second period. The Oilers outshot the Flames, but the Flames outscored the Oilers. It's 2-1 after 20. Just one power play in that first period, and it was a goal by Teddy Purcell. We'll get to the summary as soon as we can. The top line for the Oilers starts this period, and it's Eberle trying to get by Brody. Eberle cuts to the net, the backhand goes wide. TJ Brody and Mark Giordano both played over 7 minutes and 15 seconds in that first period. Backlund is checked by Nugent Hopkins. He'll play it off the boards, and this is Perron. Perron, drop pass, quick shot, big save, another chance for Purcell. He got 2 whacks at it. Petrie right up there looking for the rebound as well.
Early in the second, the song remains the same for the Calgary Flames. Kari Ramo.
Arcabello, Perron, and Purcell. Long pass, and it's picked up there by Yuri Hudler. He'll go cross ice looking for Paul Byron. And that is brought in offside. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Visit WorleyParsonsCord.com to find your place on our construction team.
Oilers did a nice job taking advantage of the Flames on a defensive change. Giordano and Brody were going off, and Englund was coming on with Russell, and so that's why they were backing up so much. The Oilers had speed, and the Flames could only back up and hope that Kari Ramo was performing the same magic that he had in most of the first period.
From the Oilers' point of view, Teddy Purcell continuing to go to the net after he takes the shot. A lot of guys turn away from that. Uh-oh.
Out in front, and Byron put it just wide as Scrivens scrambled to get back into the net. Hudler fed Byron, but he couldn't put it home. Here is Boyd Gordon, gets it up to Joensuu. And it's brought back in by Hendricks. The whistle goes as Hendricks let the shot go. England's going to have a few words for Hendricks, and so is Russell.
It's one of those nights where Ben Scrivens is just not handling the puck well, and that's okay. You're going to have nights like that, so just try not to get back there very often and just let the game come to you. Eventually you'll get it back in order because Ben Scrivens isn't known as a poor puck-handling goaltender, but tonight it's not happening for him.
7 shots by the Flames. They had taken the third fewest shots on goal of any team in the National Hockey League last year. They managed 25 against Vancouver last night. Dale Yakubov circles the net, plays it out in front, and went right through the legs of Benoit Pouliot. Hammered in by Gaudreau. Going after it is Mason Raymond. Gaudreau plays it back to Schmid. Schmid avoids the hit from Draisaitl. Johnny Gaudreau starts this cycle and gets it to Raymond. Raymond turns at the blue line, throws it down behind the net. Scrivens lets it go. Gaudreau picks it up. Gaudreau to the middle and nobody there, and it's picked up by Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl played 4 minutes and 55 seconds in that first period, and he was 4-1 in the face-off circle. An icing call coming up against the Flames.
Kelly, you've been around the training camp, as you said. What are your impressions of Bob Harley?
His sense of humor, really, when you go back to the line about Coburn, Gaudreau, and Byron, and he's been really peppering us in the media with some really funny lines, and I think to a certain degree taking the pressure off his team. But he's all business, trust me. When you see him at practice, these guys, it's like a hockey school out there, even the morning skates.
A sense of humor would not be what I thought you were going to say.
I think that's got everybody off guard.
One shot is stopped by Gaudreau, and the puck is played out to center. Scoring change on the first goal. It is Mason Raymond's goal from Giordano and Coburn. A penalty coming up, a tripping call. Just the second penalty as we take a look at that first goal.
Mason Raymond gets his first goal here for the Calgary Flames. You're going to see it just off to the side. It looks as though we thought it was Mark Giordano, but Mason Raymond gets his first goal as a Calgary Flame, and Pretty good moment. I'm sure he had some moments of nervousness yesterday, and it's all good today.
And Kelly, a milestone goal for Mason Raymond is 100th of his career.
Wow, isn't that nice? And you know what? He's a heck of a person, too.
Jordan Eberle is in the penalty box for tripping at 2:44. The Calgary Flames were 0 for 4 in the game last night against Vancouver. Go to work for the first time tonight. They were 24th last year. Curtis Glencross plays it back to Giordano. Giordano looks for Michael Backlund down low. Glencross is checked by Boyd Gordon. Giordano, though, keeps it in at the point. Glencross back to Hudler. Hudler for Glencross. Out in front for Backlund. Good defensive play there by Matt Hendricks. Russell feeds it over for Giordano. Wrist shot through traffic. That traffic being provided by Curtis Glencross, who took a shot from the captain, Andrew Ference.
Did he ever? I'm surprised that one didn't get called.
I like how aggressive the Oilers penalty kill is right now, too.
Penalty killing that was ranked 15th overall last year. Sean Monahan. What a year he had as a rookie. The first rookie in Flames history since Jerome Iginla to get 20-plus goals. Monahan had 22. Jerome had 21 back in 96-97.
He's a different-looking player, too. He's put on 12 pounds in the offseason. He's a really muscular young player right now.
Just have to fight off a little bit of that flu bug, really. Goudreau across the blue line. Will stop up, throw it to the middle, touch pass. Monahan got it from Brody. Monahan hangs on with 22 seconds left to go, and the penalty to Jordan Eberle. Nikitin fires it around the boards, comes right to Mark Arcabello. Arcabello gets it to Joensuu, trying to rag some time, and then he will send it down the ice. And Boyd Gordon, Matt Hendricks, Schultz, and Ference jump over the boards. No shot so far for the Flames on this power play. Byron right down the middle. Paul Byron stops, plays it back to the point. Diaz makes the shot. The penalty is over as the shot comes through. It went off Ference and into the corner. The Flames 0 for 1. The Oilers are 1 for 1 on the power play. 16 shots for Edmonton, 7 for Calgary. We've played just over 5 minutes of this second period.
You talked about it, that great first season for Sean Monahan. Well, the numbers don't lie. 22 goals behind the two impressive players, Johnson and McKinnon with 24, Flat with 23. So what a season. Going to be hard to duplicate that.
Well, he's got time. He still doesn't turn 20 as Eberle rings it off the post. Monahan won't turn 20 till October the 12th. Jordan Eberle comes close. Back the other way comes Lance Boma. Boma trying to feed it in front, and that was broken up neatly before it could get there by Brad Hunt. Eberle again out in front for Nugent Hopkins. Takes it off his stick, and then England takes him into the boards. Paul throws it towards the net. Good play to keep it away from Stajan. Oilers making changes as Purcell hops over the boards. Petrie's got it at the blue line. Wrist shot through traffic, and it doesn't make it. It gets caught up in Giordano. Is still alive, and there is a quick shot by Nugent Hopkins that goes just wide. Purcell from the corner. He'll play it back to Petrie. Petrie, wrist shot, and that one's blocked by Giordano. David Jones lubs it out to center. He'll chip it in, chase it himself. He has to deal with Ference, who cuts him off, and Petrie picks it up, and he'll start wheeling. Jeff Petrie across the red line. Now the blue line. Petrie moving in, throws it out in front. Purcell was there, but he was tied up by Brody. Perron with it now. Perron, wrist shot, and that one rises over top of the cage and ends up going out of play. Jordan Eberle in 2010 in his first game had a goal. He came close tonight.
The 1984 Stanley Cup winning Edmonton Oilers team all over Rexall Place. There's a look at Grant Fuhr beside Floyd Whitney, father of Ray Whitney, and there's Glenn Anderson at the game. And this was Glenn Anderson this morning telling some great stories to Jordan Eberle. Leon Draisaitl, imagine being side by side with Mark Messier, and then Jesse Joensuu getting a chance to catch up with Jari Kurri, and seeing those two guys I thought would be a great way to finish.
The last time the 84 team faced the Calgary Flames was April the 22nd of 84 It was Game 7. They won that game by the score of 7-4. And Drew, you and I talked about that run in '84. The biggest trouble the Oilers had was against the Calgary Flames. Everybody else, they blew away.
What was the stat? They lost more games in that series than they did the other 3 series combined.
And the other thing I think of, guys, wasn't every score 7-4 back in those days?
The cup clinching game was 5-2 against the Islanders, who took just 1 game off the Oilers that year. They swept Winnipeg and they swept Minnesota. This edition of the Oilers down by 1 with 13 minutes to go in the second period, outshooting the Flames 17-7. The Flames, the second half of a back-to-back. They will continue their road trip. They'll be in St. Louis on Saturday, Nashville on Tuesday, Chicago on Wednesday. They're not going to be home. Kelly, you're not going to be home until October the 21st when Tampa Bay comes to town.
And Saturday is when I get to debut with my partner Rick Ball and Roger Millions also for Flames.
Nice.
And yeah, start the season in St. Louis with our crew, and you guys can get on with your good work.
Another home opener for you, Kelly.
Only 3 of them.
Yakupov to Draisaitl. Draisaitl centering pass, and that is one thing Draisaitl does very well among others, is that he can make the pass on the backhand as good as a veteran. Mason Raymond. Raymond turns, fires from a sharp angle that doesn't get through. Schmid lets it go through traffic, and a great pad save by Scrivens as that puck changed direction.
Well, in front of the net here, you're going to see Benoit Pouliot vacate, but Andrew Ferris jumps in. And then he's going to do, I think, what Kelly really smart against Joe Colborne. Just gets his stick underneath and lifts Colborne up out of the way. Andrew Ferris isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he uses his body there well in the way of using body positioning and getting your stick underneath the man.
Experience and knowing what to do even though you're smaller, and Joe Colborne is a big man. I also like Schmid not hesitating at the point, just getting the puck to the front and knowing that there's a potential of a deflection.
Isn't that the key, right? Just get the puck to the net.
Yeah. He knows he's not going to score for that.
Joe Colborne is a big guy, 6'5", 215 pounds. Raymond. Giordano jumping up on the play. Raymond snaps the shot, and that is blocked by Ferris.
Sorry, did Giordano ever jump up on the play there?
The Oilers want to activate their D this year. We saw the captain for the Flames do that. He will head off now. And it is Diaz and Schmid on the blue line for the Flames. Stajan trying to keep it in against Joensuu. Joensuu wins that puck battle, brings it out. Diaz stumbles. Ferentz, wrist shot, and that one whistles wide. Nugent Hopkins, great play to keep it in for the Oilers. Hendrick sees it go by him. Raymond wants to relieve the pressure, and he'll send it down the ice. Ferentz waiting for it. Nugent Hopkins turns inside his own blue line. Off the boards for Eberle. Eberle given a bump there by Schmid. Diaz off the boards for Stajan. He was checked by Nikitin. Stajan stays with it. And Eberle comes up with it. He'll drop it back to his center. Nugent Hopkins. Work there by Boma as he knocked that pass down and sends it back into Oiler territory. That will allow the Flames to make a change. Backlund, Glenncross, and Jones hop over the boards as Eberle feeds Hall. Hall moving to the middle. Taylor Hall can't get the shot away. Brody is on him. Hall gets knocked down. Eberle carries on, and another penalty coming up. The Oilers will go back to their second power play, their first of this period. The net empty. Arcabello, the sixth attacker. Nikitin has to retreat. The Oilers will clear the zone, and now they'll bring it back in. Eberle, drop pass for Purcell. Purcell to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins goes cross ice. Gets the puck back again. Waits to the middle it goes. All kinds of traffic there as Glenncross tusses it. And we've got a hooking penalty coming up to TJ Brody. The Oilers on the power play when we return.
Well, TJ Brody finds himself in the penalty box here at Rexall Place. I'm sure Kevin Lowe and his teammates spent a little bit of time in there, but often it was the other team trying to chase your team around that found themselves there. What's these few days been like for you and your teammates, X-Ones?
It's been incredible, Gene. You know, everybody's so happy, having such a good time. They really appreciate the fact that the organization brought them back here, and obviously it was Wayne's idea, and it's been a great one so far.
Lunch at your place today. What was it like to just gather everyone around?
You know, we had office staff and everybody that worked in the organization, gave them a chance to see the players because it's been a pretty hectic couple days. And it was a beautiful day in Edmonton, and so far, even though we're down, it seems the hockey game's going pretty well, so all's good.
From 1984 to 2014, can you discuss the optimism your team has coming into this season?
You know, just what we've seen in training camp so far, the new additions were players that we really felt needed to help supplement the players that we had, the good young players. And what we've seen in training camp, what we've seen so far tonight, I think we know that we're going to be a much better team. The question is how much better, but we're quite optimistic. We're going to really have a year where our fans will be excited and proud of the hockey team.
Kevin, thanks for your time. Enjoy the next few days and the next few months.
Yeah, thanks, Gene.
And the next couple of minutes, 5-on-3 for the Oilers for 1 minute and 35 seconds. Stajan in the box for tripping. Ramo the save. Gordon the rebound. Nugent Hopkins puts another chance over the top of the net. And the Oilers retreat back into their own zone.
That second save was something special.
I thought the first save was pretty good too, Drew.
Sorry.
England, Giordano, and Backlund are the penalty killers as Hall brings it in. Nugent Hopkins, Pouliot, Eberle join the fray, and unable to keep that puck in was Schultz. Hall's got it now. He'll give it to Eberle. Eberle, drop pass for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Schultz at the point. He's the lone defenseman. Hall, the new alignment on that left side. Here is Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins moves to the middle. Hall switches. One-time blast. Scores! Taylor Hall. Power play goal. We're tied at 2.
Watch the switch up top. As the play goes low, then comes up high. A cycle up high. Taylor Hall switches, goes to his off wing, and then gets everything on it. Obviously a set play, running a 5-on-3 from the bottom to the top. Really threw the Flames off a little bit. That's a heck of a play, Kelly.
And again, getting the goaltender Ramo to move. Not that I'm blaming him at all. That's just a terrific power play and one heck of a shot from Taylor Hall. I like the fact that the Oilers didn't let the Flames off the hook. They kept attacking and set up that, as you said, a set play. It was beautiful.
2 for 2 with a man advantage as Taylor Hall gets his first goal of the season. A power play marker. He had 7 of them last year. Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Justin Schultz getting the helpers on the goal at 11:25. Still 45 seconds left to go in the penalty to Matt Stajan. David Perron drops it back for Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl chips it in against Brody. Draisaitl with Yakupov and Purcell. Purcell with the puck now. He'll come back to the point. Lets it go, and he rang that one off the post. Brad Hunt on that second unit power play, guys, as a howitzer. We saw it there.
That's why Brad Hunt is here right now. Dallas Eakins likes his ability to get the puck to the net, and he gets it there quickly. And Kelly, I remember you used to talk about this too. The difference between a heavy shot and a quick shot. That one looks like it's heavy.
Yeah, it looks both to me. He had quick release, and I like the fact that he's a guy that you don't have to convince him to put the puck towards the net. He does it almost every time.
Last year in Oklahoma City, he played 66 games, had 170 shots. 23 seconds of power play time remaining. Schultz is on the blue line now. This is the combination that scored. Now has to retreat. Set up with Schultz, Hall, Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, and Pouliot. Giordano is with England, along with Paul Byron and Backlund. Hall to Schultz. Schultz, wrist shot, and that one is blocked by Byron. The penalty is over. Stajan back on the ice. Stajan, as the Oilers make a change, races after it. Schultz gets there first. Pouliot can't take it away from Backlund. Backlund trying to split through Nugent Hopkins, and Ferentz can't do it. Gets knocked down for his trouble.
Go inside!
Russell. Control. Stajan bumped off the puck there by Ferentz. Got 7-2 for the Oilers in this second period. That has 6 minutes and 55 seconds left in it. Russell from the point. He'll go across to Diaz. Blocked into the corner. Stajan picks it up. Back to the point. Diaz has some trouble and the Oilers come away. Joensuu with Hendricks. Hendricks against Russell. Hendricks checked by Russell. The puck comes back to the point though. There is Fain with a shotgun. That one didn't get through. And it may have broken the stick of Matt Stajan. Mark Fain. His attempt towards the net, blocked by Russell. Fain then jumps on it, keeps it in. Kari Ramo leaves it there for Rafael Diaz. And the word is, Kelly, that Rafael wants to be known as Rafa.
I went up to and asked him that in training camp, and he kind of shrugged his shoulders a little bit like, yeah, honestly. I was like, okay, it's your choice. No problem.
It'll be Rafa. I hope he's a good tennis player.
First thing I thought of as well.
David Jones cutting for the net. Sharp angle shot, and Scrivens makes the save. The puck sits there for Curtis Glencross. Ladislav Schmid pinching in. Nikitin. On the far side, the Oilers can't get it out. Here is Jones, drop pass. Good shot by Monahan, and Scrivens made the save. A little bit off balance, but he kept the puck out. 10th shot for the Flames. Glencross has it again. 21-10, the shots favor the Oilers. Mark Arcabello trying to get it loose. Nikita Nikitin. And the word is, guys, Nikitin wants to be known as Nicky.
True?
I got nothing.
Like your honesty.
Here's a lead pass. Arcabello, or that was Pouliot with a hammer of a shot. And it goes high and wide. Draisaitl back in his own zone. He's got Byron on top of him. Draisaitl just inside the blue line, stays calm and gets the puck back to Ferentz. Yakupov doesn't like what he sees, turns away and gives it to Ferentz. Ferentz drops back to his partner Petrie. Petrie gets around Bolin. Quickly up for Draisaitl. Cross ice for Yakupov. Yakupov trying to feed it back. Petrie able to keep it in. Yakupov. Pouliot. Draisaitl checked by Backlund. Draisaitl fights him off. Works it towards the net. Russell was there. Pouliot. Back to Petrie. Lays it around behind the net. Yakupov touch pass to Draisaitl. Right out in front. And he tried to get it to Benoit Pouliot. Yakupov turns. Best shift of the game for this line. Here is Draisaitl on the doorstep. He's got it again. Back to Yakupov. Yakupov waits. He'll give it to Petrie. Petrie moving in with a shot. Ramo got a piece of it. Got a big hand for that line as they head to the bench.
That was their best shift of the game, but again, Kari Ramo, the difference maker for the Flames.
Hall with a shot and a glove save by Ramo. John Monahan looking for his first goal of the season is denied by Ben Scrivens here. Our next Score and Win winner, courtesy of Safeway and Sponge Towels Ultra, is Mary Hutchins of St. Albert's, who has won the Bulova Marine Star Watch on the power play goal by Taylor Hall.
Look at Taylor Hall in his season last year, and this is a young man who has taken a giant step in his NHL career to start establishing himself as one of the premier left wingers, if not the premier left winger in the game.
He was number one last year with 80 points, as you saw. Jamie Benn was number two. He and Jordan Eberle given A's, another part of that maturation process.
And with that becomes expectations from the coaching staff. You've got to lead in all the moments, not just when things are going well, but in these tough moments, you've got to be guys that step up and make a difference.
It's a puck for Hall. A centering pass for Nugent Hopkins is steered aside. Jones quickly up for Giordano. Giordano gains the red line. He will bounce that puck into the corner. We've got 3 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the second period. The Oilers out shooting the Flames 24-11. It was 14-7 after the first 20 minutes. Rafa Diaz will start away. Diaz looking for Byron. That didn't work. When Bob Hartley was coaching in Switzerland, he saw Diaz and had to have him in Calgary.
Surf your fave wave with the new Mastercraft X20. Let the Gen 2 surf system custom sculpt your perfect wave. Available at Martin Motorsports.
Go beyond the scores and highlights at sportsnet.ca/NHL. Canada's all-star roster of hockey writers deliver expert insights, opinions, as well as analysis all season long, featuring Elliot Friedman, Damian Cox, Chris Johnson, and Ron McLean. The insiders on sportsnet.ca/NHL.
I got two guys here in the booth and between the benches that have got some insight. And start with you, Kelly, and your assessment of what the Flames have to do. Just 11 shots here through almost 40 minutes.
Well, normally when they play really well, it's a hard-working game, but they get pucks deep, and right now they're not having that opportunity. I have to give the Oilers credit, though. They're forcing the pace, and right now it's advantage Oilers. But Calgary plays a simple game and get back to doing that. They'll have success.
And Drew, the special teams coming through for the Oilers.
Yeah, certainly Bob Hartley will talk to the Flames about that. Try not to take any penalties because the special teams are very good. Like we've always seen with the Edmonton Oilers the last number of years. When they have the puck, when they're on the offensive attack, they are a dangerous, highly skilled group.
Speed with it now. Diaz takes a look under pressure from Draisaitl. Up for Coburn. He will tip it in. Scrivens is going to play it. And Goudreau bearing down on him. Fired in by Yakupov. Waiting for it is Draisaitl on the near side. Left pitch back. The Oilers making a change, and it's picked up there by Ferentz. And that's going to be an icing call against the Oilers.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
Leon Draisaitl on the ice right now. He was successful in the face-off circle. They say he's composed beyond his years, and he's showing it so far. The star with the Prince Albert Raiders. 67 points in 64 games. Goudreau, a star at Boston College, a Hobey Baker winner, was wearing 53 in training camp, wearing 13 now because Brian Burke says nobody on the Calgary Flames will wear a number above 35. Diaz was wearing 36. He is now 33. When the boss speaks, everybody listens.
Yes, sir. You say thank you, Mr. Burke.
So they are old school when it comes to numbers. Yakupov went from 64 down to 10. Raymond with it now. Bouncing puck. Goudreau was looking for it. Bumped off the puck there. We've got just over a minute to go in the second period. Long pass intended for Gordon. He picks it up with Johansson going to the front of the net. But a good sliding play there by the captain of the Flames. Giordano plays it around to the near side. His partner TJ Brody. Can't get by Johansson. Gordon, Johansson, Hendricks. Put the hard hats on and go to work. Back to the point it comes. Schultz waiting for it there. He'll throw it in behind the net. It's picked off by Giordano. Quickly up for Glencross. Plays it off the glass and down the ice. A race for it. Backlund and Jones. This is Backlund. Takes a bump from Johansson. Down to 25 seconds to go in the period. Schultz takes a look. He'll have some time as he works the puck out to Hendricks. Gets to the line and flips it in. Eberle on the ice right now. Hall jumps over the boards as well. Quickly gets off. The Oilers were afraid they were going to have too many men there. 5 seconds to go in the period. And a solid period for the Edmonton Oilers. But this game is a long way from over, gentlemen. 40 minutes in the books. It's a 2-2 tie, Jeff, in the 216th edition of the Battle of Alberta.
And it's always a lot of fun, Kevin. And on this 30th anniversary of the 1984 team, we have a look back at the original Death Valley in the NHL. Now you might say Death Valley is a trip through California, San Jose, Anaheim, and Los Angeles. But it used to be you didn't get points coming out of this province. John Shannon with a closer look at that. And can it ever get back to the lofty heights? Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at tonight's scoring summaries brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Visit WorleyParsonsCord.com to find your place on our construction team. First period, it was Raymond and Hoodler, guys who got things started, but the Oilers come back with special teams. Teddy Purcell gets his first goal in an Oiler uniform, and then 5-on-3 in that second period. Taylor Hall pulls the trigger on a nice setup from Nugent Hopkins.
And it was a bomb of a shot Taylor Hall got out of it on a little bit of a rotation from the bottom to the top, and then a switch up top. That's tied the game.
And that's where we stand right now as the third period is underway. The first of 5 meetings between these teams. The next time they will meet, as that puck was gloved ahead, we will see them on December the 27th. They'll also play New Year's Eve, and then the last game between these two teams, you got to go all the way to April 4th. And both these clubs hoping that they are in a playoff position that first week of April. But Drew, you talked about it earlier. It is all about one step at a time.
It's interesting, and listening to Dallas Eakins talk about the goals. He said he's not much of a goal-setting guy. For him, it's all about the process of getting right players in, which Craig McTavish did, the process of getting these players to play the right way. And Kelly, so far, what do you think about the way the Oilers are playing?
Very impressive. You know, they're not giving the Flames much, especially coming out through the neutral zone. And I'm just really impressed with their transition game right now, too. They're taking chances when they need to, nice and aggressive when they need to, and not just doing it recklessly.
Taylor Hall with a head of steam against Giordano. Great one-on-one matchup between two stars of the NHL, Giordano and Hall.
Giordano, you're right, Kelly. Giordano is a very good defensive player.
Yeah, you know, Drew, I rarely ever see him have a really honestly bad shift. You know, some shifts are better than others, like all players, but they're mostly at a really high level.
14:37 through 40 minutes for Mark Giordano.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Sponge Towels Ultra. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers and Molson Canadian are teaming up once again to bring the ultimate game experience to your favorite away game venues. Grab your friends and join us for a complimentary Molson sampling and tons of prizes at MKT on Saturday, October 11th. Follow the Edmonton Oilers on Twitter for contest updates or visit edmontonoilers.com/GameDayLive for more information.
Monahan can't get the shot away as Petrie prevented that with a little help from David Perron. And an icing call coming up against the Flames.
We talked to Andrew Ference today, and Andrew talked about the expectations being very high for this team. And I thought what he said to us was really important. He said, we know that they should be high because we know what each player is capable of. The challenge is to be able to reach that consistent level of being at that high level of capability and do it more nights than not.
Boy, it'd be a lousy game if you didn't have high expectations, wouldn't it? You just came to the rink to put in time.
Kelly, name me a player. You're a guy that's played at this the highest level. Name me a NHL player that doesn't come in with an optimistic feeling.
Not one. You know, even Drew, when I went with a few guys in San Jose my first year back in 1996, we were a young and inexperienced team. I had some veterans like Marty McSorley and Tony Granato and others. But we still thought we were going to win the Stanley Cup at the start of the year. Now, of course, that wasn't all that realistic, but we still had the same dream, and these two teams are in the same boat. They're not thinking right now just about the playoffs or having a good year. They're thinking of hoisting the Stanley Cup, and that's where it should be.
Well, the banner went up in L.A. last night. That wasn't a very good party as the San Jose Sharks spoiled it with a 4-0 win. Gaudreau, his shot goes wide and is picked up there by Joe Coburn. And get by him, though, and Draisaitl starts back the other way. Yakupov catching up with Pouliot. Pouliot snips the shot. Ramo the save. Yakupov looking for the rebound.
Heads up play by Ramo to clear that puck.
Coburn bounces one on to Ben Scrivens as the Flames make a change. Petrie chased back into his own zone by Mason Raymond. Petrie trying to get free. Pass for Hendricks was behind him. Petrie is there again. Bounces it off the boards. Right to Hendricks. Finds, fires. Ramo the save. The rebound ends up in the corner. Brandon Bolden comes together with Joensuu. Back to the point it comes. Ference through traffic, and that one whistles wide. Joensuu on the side of the net. Hendricks banging away as well. Ramos stands his ground and makes the save.
Rogers NHL Game Center Live now with Game Plus, exclusive for Rogers customers. Experience the NHL in a whole new way with innovative camera and replay angles. Check it out. Visit rogers.com/NHL.
Both these hockey teams will be on the road for their next game. The Oilers in Vancouver on Saturday. And Kelly, you won't get any scarf or anything in St. Louis. They've already played their home opener, buddy. Sorry.
No.
They played the Rangers tonight. It's my mistake.
Okay, well, you know what? Then that's good. Then I don't have to sit through more ceremonies. But no, boy, I'll tell you guys, you know what? It's about 43 minutes into this game, and this is a noticeably different Edmonton team, isn't it? With their determination, and it's as though they don't even care what the score is. They're just playing the game of hockey as it should be. If you look at good teams, you look at the bench, you have no idea if they're winning or losing. They're just determined and trying to go for the cause.
And guys getting an opportunity. Brad Hunt played 12 minutes and 30 seconds through 40 minutes. He's up there now. Perron lays it back to Schultz. Schultz gets it to Perron, circles in his own zone. Purcell in the middle. Purcell has it caught up in his skates. Purcell throws it towards the middle. Curtis Glencross is there, and the pass intended for Arcabello. Long pass for Hudler. Hudler has one of the 2 Calgary goals. 16 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in regulation time. 30 shots for the Oilers, 13 for the Flames. The top line for the Oilers on the ice right now. Eberle to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins crisscrossing with Hall. Nugent Hopkins takes it himself, and that shot goes wide. Petrie waits for it at the point, able to keep it in. Derek Lee quickly up the wing for Hudler. Hudler right in the middle for Byron. Byron driving for the net. Here is Byron with a backhand. Stopped by Scrivens, and there is Hall to take away the rebound.
Speedy Paul Byron.
Well, guys, he's got to be something because he's 5'7", 153 pounds. He better be quick.
Yeah. Show it there.
Brody checks Hall. Coburn. Through the middle it goes. Here is Raymond. Mason Raymond moving in. Wines, fares a shot. He scores. Mason Raymond's second goal of the game gives the Flames back the lead.
Speed kills you, and Flames have plenty of it with Mason Raymond up front. Just a little chip pass from Boma right there. Mason Raymond puts his head up just for a second just to see what Scrivens is going to give him. See right there, he's checking it out. Find out when Ben Scrivens is going to fall to his knees, and then he just lofts it over the glove. That's a terrific play by Mason Raymond.
I thought it was a nice play as the Calgary Flames get excited on their 15th shot. They get that go-ahead goal, but that was a nice play by Raymond to come across the ice through the middle and push the pace. And you mentioned that little tip pass really sent him on his way.
It's amazing how you can play when you're loose and relaxed. You know, Mason Raymond coming back to the Calgary Flames, being an Alberta native. He looked nervous last night for the first 2 periods anyways. A little bit better in the third, but today he looks like he normally plays.
Here to cheer or just for the beer? Half off wings during the game and game day drink specials every time Edmonton plays all day long. Hudson's, Canada's Pub.
The answer, 21. Congratulations to Dr. Richmond.
You're going to see on this goal, Mason Raymond's going to come right across the middle of the ice. A little touch play. What that is, it pushes the pace. It gets the defenseman off the boards, and he can't keep up with a speedy player like Mason Raymond. That's what opened it up with a great goal.
Raymond had 19 goals last year. He has 2 here tonight, and he's given his team back the lead at 4:23 of the third period. As that puck ends up going real close to Kelly.
Yeah, you know, I said to Wayne Gretzky when he was coming off the ice at the ceremony, said, well, don't work too hard. And I said, no, I'm more afraid about getting hit by a puck. I said, don't worry, Kelly, that never happens to you.
Ouch!
Same right there. I was going to be fine with that one.
Kelly, you haven't been down between the benches. What do you think about the viewpoint from down there and how it changes your perspective?
Once again, it always comes to mind whenever you come down this low, just the speed of the game and the size of the players and the intensity of the game. You miss that when you're up where you guys are, but I can tell you what, this is about as intensive experience as you can have. It's absolutely awesome.
It is. I've always thought that fans should get a chance to get right down inside. Here's Kelly with the quick hands. You can see Kelly Rudy.
Quick hands?
To make sure he's going to get it. There he is.
That's an old scared guy trying to get out of the way. That's what that is.
No, that's what you know what that is. That's
Right.
a goaltender knowing where his net is, and I don't need it. It's going wide. Why do I need to play it? It's going wide.
Okay, Drew, I'll buy into that for a minute, but not really. I think the viewers at home know that was just an old scared guy.
Hey, Kelly, remember, don't just say, I'm just going to let it hit me. That would hurt.
Well, as Wayne told you, that never happens.
So Boma and Coburn get the assists on the goal by Raymond. And the Flames, with 15 shots, have 3 goals. They had 2 last night against the Vancouver Canucks.
Well, as John Shannon was saying in the first intermission about the help that Ben Scrivens got in those first 2 goals, he didn't get much. And that other one, Kelly, and it's a big slapper like that, it's a tough play, I still think, for a goaltender to make.
Oh, absolutely. And as we saw in the replay, Mason Raymond just read it perfectly. He waited and had his head up. And then as Ben Scrivens fell to his knees, as all goaltenders do, today's era, then he just ripped a shot high glove. But you look at, he's only had 15 shots against Ben Scrivens, but most of them have been a really high quality. It's not been the easiest game at the start of the year for a goaltender. He's had very few of those get to feel the puck shots.
So is that harder, Kelly, than facing a lot of shots?
Oh yeah, totally. And you know, you want to impress your teammates and everybody the first game, and you know, you grind away in your own mind and you try and get through the first one, especially that one.
As for Kari Ramo, 31 saves so far in this hockey game. Marcabello takes a big hit from Lance Boma. Boma with the puck now. Petrie comes back at him and knocks him down. The puck is underneath number 17. Now it's loose and Petrie gets it out. Ferentz plays give and go with Teddy Purcell. Purcell comes together with Russell. Puck squirts free and Chris Russell comes up with it. Russell plays it off the boards for Coburn. And Coburn does the same to get it out to center. 13 minutes, 27 seconds left to go here in regulation time.
Watch the red line, watch the red!
Gaudreau fires it into the opposite corner. Waiting there is Bollig. It got by him, and the Oilers come back the other way with Draisaitl. Draisaitl to Yakupov, and caught up in his skates. He does manage to bounce it in. The Oilers have to clear the zone and do. Monahan quickly up for Brandon Bollig. And again, he's got staging all over him. To the far corner, it's picked up by Yakupov. He'll play it off the boards and out. Ladislav Schmid has got it now. Schmid, 474 games as an Edmonton Oiler, and this is one tough guy. He missed training camp because of infected teeth.
5 or 4 they pulled.
Oh, one's too many.
Oh, yeah, I think it was 4.
I think originally they said 5, then they brought it down 1. I don't know what that means.
Brody on the intercept. Lindros with a shot, and Scrivens the glove save. Mason Raymond has 101 career goals. The 101st gave his team back to lead. Tonight's Outstanding Play is brought to you by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
Outstanding execution as well on the 5-on-3 power play from low to high. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins cycles up top, and he's got 2 options, one to the left, one to the right. He gives it to the left-handed shooter on the right side, Taylor Hall, and he gets all of it. This is a rocket, and as Kelly Rudy said, a perfectly placed shot. You heard it go off both posts and in. Juicy goal, and that's our outstanding play in the RE/MAX.
2 power play goals for the Oilers. The first one by Teddy Purcell in the first period, and then that one by Taylor Hall at 11:25 of the second. But it is Mason Raymond, the difference right now, his second goal. Rebound out in front. And looking for it there was David Jones. Back the other way comes Johansson. Johansson to Schultz. Sweeps it in behind the net to Schultz, but it's picked off there by Giordano. Avoids the big hit from Boyd Gordon. Back to the point. Schultz fires it. It went off the stick of Glenn Cross. And it comes to David Jones. Jones gets to center, pays the price as Johansson at the end of his shift knocks him down, and then Hendricks goes flying with Backlund all over him. Nugent-Hopkins with speed across the red line. Here is Nugent-Hopkins, tips it in, he'll go after it. Brody is there. Brody gives him a bump, Everly in support. Stripped of the puck there by Hoodler. Byron. Pass intended for Monahan was behind him. He caught up to it and backhanded it in. Petrie legs it around the boards. Speed can't keep it in. TJ Brodie goes right up the middle. Pass intended for Byron. Broken up by Hall, but the Flames get it back again. They turn it right back over. Petrie with it now for Hall. They collide at the blue line. And Hudler comes up with it. The Oilers want to get a change in. Arcabello's line is out now. Sean Monahan against Jeff Petrie. They come together. Arcabello picks up the puck. Quickly for Hall. Hall. David Perron is there, but the puck is not. Perron will bring it in. David Perron waits, fires a shot, and that one goes off the stick of Chris Russell and high up into the netting.
Shop at Safeway today and you could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for two to a Grand Bahama Principe Resort. What? Principe Resort? What am I doing here? Courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals.
We'll all be waiting for the invite in January, Gene.
Yeah. You're my best friend, Gene.
Yeah. I always love that Principe kid. Russell with the puck now as he sends it around the boards. There is Mark Fane pinching for in support. Back to Perron at the point. A wrist shot through traffic. Ramo takes that one up high, and the puck is cleared down the ice. Nearing the halfway point of the period. Fane. Purcell waits. Delivers. Arcabello takes the shot. Now he'll let it go, and a blocker save by Kari Ramo. Purcell keeps it in briefly, and it is Joe Coburn who works it out to center. Coburn with 2 points on the night. Perron delivers down low to Teddy Purcell. Brad Hunt keeps the puck in, and Coburn content just to flip that puck down the ice as the Flames want to get a change in. The Oilers trying to take advantage, but it is offside at the Flames blue line. 3-2 the score. You're watching Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet. The game review is brought to you by The Brick, saving you more on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Mason Raymond, what a debut for the Calgary Flames. Second game now. Flames uniform, 2 goals already and blazing speed, Drew.
And for the Edmonton Oilers, their power play, which they worked on a lot in training camp, really is clicked. They've got the 2 goals. And Kelly, I know you like this part, the goalie duel.
Yeah, I like highlighting these guys. Why wouldn't I? They're the most important player on the ice for both teams. And Terry Ramos so far having a terrific game.
David Jones with a shot that goes behind the net. So, Kelly, who's going to start on Saturday in St. Louis?
Oh, boy. that is a dilemma, isn't it? Now, I'm not going to get involved with that one, but they have 2 pretty darn good choices, as do the Oilers.
Victor Foss will start the game on Saturday in Vancouver. We know that, but after that, again, it's up in the air. LA on Tuesday. Scrivens, though, the ex-LA King, might be kind of neat to go into that building once again and try and make it 2 in a row for the defending champs to put them in the L column.
I think what both coaches would like is for the players not to read too much into the selection this early in the season.
Hall with the puck now. Sharp angle shot and a big pad save there by Ramo. Nugent Hopkins looking for the rebound and trying to keep it in at the blue line was Ferentz. Couldn't do it. The Oilers will have to retreat. Nugent Hopkins is going to backhand that in. Brodie turns. And a pass to his deep partner is Giordano. Plays it hard off the boards and looking for Sean Monahan.
Kelly, the Flames got their mojo back in this period.
They do, don't they? This is a team that has a bit of a swagger now. And, Oilers, they started out, of course, great, the Flames did, but the Oilers, they just took that will away from the Flames, but it's back.
Petrie. Drives out. Russell finds that puck out. Ferentz. And Petrie stay there as Ferentz hammers it in, and Ramo makes the easy glove save. And now Nikitin and Fane are on the ice trying to stop Boma. And Mason Raymond here is Boma with a backhand and a great pad save there by Ben Scrivens.
Mark Fane's got to go with his man there. There's got to be some communication. I think he thought that the forward was coming back to help out. There was nobody in sight.
As Boma played 78 games last year. The previous 2 years, he played a total of 43 games.
Century Casino. Welcome to the Winner's Zone.
Check out Sportsnet Magazine's special All Hockey issue, your 100-page guide to the 2014-15 NHL season. Sportsnet's writers found the best untold stories from around the league. Available in our tablet edition on next issue and at newsstands now. Visit sportsnet.ca to subscribe today.
A broken stick for Backlund. He races over to get a new one. As the Oilers put the pressure on, Nugent Hopkins back to the point. Waiting for it there is Hunt. Hunt will give it to Nugent Hopkins. Down low for Eberle. Right back to Nugent Hopkins with a shot. Rollo the save. Hunt keeps it in at the blue line. Schultz with it now to Eberle. Eberle around the boards. Waiting for it on the near side is Taylor Hall. Hall checked by Brody. Hall back to the point. Hunt moves to the middle. Nugent Hopkins under pressure there from Michael Backlund, and Backlund gets it out, and the Flames get a change in. Schultz, he'll shoot it in, and he's going to head to the bench. 6:50 left to go here in the third period. Puck took a funny hop off the stanchion, but does come out to center. Petrie can't get it by Matt Stajan. Stajan, along with Goudreau, plays it right out in front, and it went off the skate of Brandon Bollig. Goudreau, Stajan, and Bollig. Arcabello plays it back to Ferentz. A long lead pass for Petrie, too far for him. And Russell will retreat into his own zone and pick it up. Fire it around the boards, and waiting for it there is Goudreau. The Flames again making a change. Again, the second game in 2 nights for the Flames. And this is the start of a long 6-game road trip. Byron on the intercept. Paul Byron moving in. Here is Byron, still has it. A shot and a great save by Scrivens. Schmid at the blue line for Monahan. It gets by him. Byron with a goal last night against Vancouver. He's got an assist in this game. Pouliot to Fane. Fane chips it ahead for Draisaitl, too far for him. He'll try and chase down Schmid. Diaz up the middle. Pass comes to Raymond. Mason Raymond stops, fires a shot right on. Scrivens keeps the play alive as he quickly gives it to Yakupov. Yakupov off the boards for Pouliot. Checked there by Hudler. Coburn turns back for Calgary. Here comes Joe Coburn. Coburn driving this right out in front. They score, and there it is. The hat trick for Mason Raymond. His third career trick. And the Calgary Flames have a 4-2 lead.
This is all because Yuri Hudler read that play, the breakout by the Edmonton Oilers, and instead of making a change, he's got the puck forward going back into the Oilers zone. Colburn noticed that Raymond was off to the side, just put it in the vicinity, and then Mason Raymond did everything after that, getting his stick in good position and deflecting that pass. Ben Scrivens, what a play, Drew?
Yeah, really a good play. What I liked about it was, as you mentioned, I thought Yuri Hudler did a great job tracking the puck. But the head up, hard pass across, and then just a heavy stick at the net.
Yeah. Eberle trying to come back. Coburn gets his second assist of the period, and Yuri Hudler picks up the helper. And Hudler gets his first assist. He's got 2 points on the season so far.
Coburn and Hudler at 14-42.
Now the Oilers have work to do. They fired 48 shots at Kari Ramo. They will have to increase that total here with the pressure. And guys, we've talked about this Oiler team wanting to take chances, activating their defensemen. They've got to do it now with time winding down.
They certainly do. And actually on that last goal, it was an aggressive defenseman up the ice that allowed that play to go in wide for Colburn.
Schultz will give it to Hunt. Hunt trying to get it in and hit Goudreau instead. Brody's got it under pressure from Hendricks, who pins him against the boards. Stajan is there to get the puck out to center. Picked up by Brandon Bollig. Bollig against Johansson. Petrie throws it around behind the net. Andrew Ferentz is there. Ferentz to Hendricks. Matt Hendricks gains the line, flips it in. Johansson gives chase against Giordano. Giordano plays it to the far corner. Stajan is checked by Petrie. Petrie in deep. Johansson. Behind the net it goes, and there is Mark Giordano. Giordano will play it off the glass and get that puck down the ice, and that will allow both teams to make changes. We're down to 3:45 left to go here in the third period. Centering pass gets tipped over the head of Teddy Purcell. Back the other way comes Sean Monahan. Monahan with a wrist shot and a body save by Scrivens. The rebound was there for Hoodler, and Scrivens had to come up big again. Quick hard pass from Perron to Purcell. Purcell's got Arcobello driving the net. Purcell drop pass for Nikita Nikitin. Nikitin shot right on, tipped away by Arcobello. Wide, but Perron picks it up. David Perron spins to lose Monahan. Plays it out in front. Darren England is there to clear it into the corner. Nikitin keeping it in for the Oilers. Now it comes loose for David Perron, trying to get in a shooting position. Paul Byron content just to flip it out to Hoodler. Hoodler wants to get a change in. He'll send it softly into the opposite corner. Everett against Raymond. Raymond and Coburn on the ice again. Along with Lance Boma, this has been a great line for Bob Hartley. Hall across the blue line. He is stopped. The Oilers will regroup.
Sorry, they're 1 versus 4. Pretty tough. I know that Taylor Hall didn't have much support, but might be better in that position just to probably dump and chase on that one.
Less than 2.5 minutes to go here in the third period.
Then Scrivens look towards the bench.
And he'll play the buck as again the teams make changes. 38 shots for the Oilers, 36 saves for Kari Ramo.
We talked about the Oilers, a team that wanted to be aggressive, but the Calgary Flames in this third period, they were the aggressive ones after the puck.
Purcell to Perron. The net is empty. The Oilers with 6 attackers. And under 2 minutes left to go in regulation as Ramo makes another save.
Kari Ramo thought there was going to be a TV timeout, but as we know, under 2 minutes he can't go. He is already making his way to the box, and then Tim Peel, the referee, now informing him that no, in fact, minute 54, we have to play.
You got to stay.
Rules are rules, Kari. But now a timeout is going to give them that break as the Oilers will diagram a play here that they've got to get 2 goals. Well, the play of the game is brought to you by Rogers. Live like never before.
So here it is, Mason Raymond. This is the second goal of the game for him. He scored, of course, on that deflection in the first period. Terrific play right here, and then, as you said, Drew, just hard on the stick, deflecting that past Scrivens.
And Kelly, you talked about, when Mike Camilleri had left, where are the goals going to come from, as Kevin asked, and you said, well, maybe Mason Raymond. Well, boy, certainly making a statement in the second game.
How about this one, too? How about, I'm looking right beside me, is Curtis Glencross. How about him? Curtis was banged up last year with a number of different injuries. He's looking to rebound and have the same normal production that we're used to seeing from him. So you get Mason Raymond in and a healthy Curtis Glencross, you can maybe make up for those goals that were lost during the summer.
Glencross missed 44 games last year with a combination of a knee injury and an ankle problem. The net empty for the Oilers. A minute 54 on the clock. The Oilers need 2 to tie. Nugent Hopkins against Michael Backlund. And some words being exchanged between Pouliot and Giordano. So now Curtis Glencross will step in against Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins wins that draw right back to Schultz. Hall against Glencross, plays it back to Nugent Hopkins, quickly to Hunt, fakes the shot. There's a quick blast deflected wide by Perron. Schultz let it go. Backlund plays it out. David Jones has his stick knocked out of his hand by Benoit Pouliot. And Benoit Pouliot's going to head to the box with a minute 36 left to go.
Trying to do something away from the puck to help out the defender, able to pick it up.
Yeah, they're in pretty good shape here too, Drew. I'm surprised that Pouliot thought the need right there. The defenseman was in good shape to Schultz come in and get the puck.
Yeah, Schultz had the angle. He was okay, he was inside. There's a great chance right near the net. Didn't get all the shot, the deflection though, and Kari Ramo comes across. Kelly, Kari Ramo's movement, as you said, you call it a quiet confidence that he has. very efficient tonight.
That's a word I was going to use, actually, Drew. I think you might have been or wanted to be a goaltender in your life at some point.
Had two in my family, my dad and my brother.
Oh, there you go.
Second power play of the game for the Calgary Flames. They did not generate a shot. Well, last time they had the man advantage, but they are not going to be too anxious right here. Little four corners to run time off the clock. Paul Byron brings it in against Ferentz. Ferentz stick knocked out of his hand. Mason Raymond is on the ice. He has already got 3 goals. Joe Coburn, a career high 3 assists. He's on the ice as well. And again, Ben Scrivens is going to the bench. The net empty for the Oilers. So it's 5-on-5 with a net empty for Edmonton as the Calgary Flames make a change that a lot of guys on the ice.
They're getting called too. They're getting called on it too. Too many men on the ice for the Calgary Flames. So with 53.3 seconds left, it's going to get a little interesting. Have a look at the right of frame right there where Kelly Hrudey is. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you got a guy in the box. So, yeah.
If I can read lips, it sounded to me like Bob Hartley was saying they're all in a clump.
I think you're right. Yeah. I'm not sure if that makes any difference. Right. The clump rule, like the tuck rule.
Hudler is the guy that's going to serve the penalty. Oilers net empty.
Face off. Now they're going to have a discussion about face off and then getting explained to them.
Hunt is out there with Schultz along with Eberle, Hall, and Nugent Hopkins. Now Hudler had originally gone over and sat in the penalty box, but
now they're saying it wasn't a penalty, and they're just having, that's why. So it wasn't a penalty. It was just too many men on the ice, and they just blew it dead in the face-off coming to the neutral zone.
So Hudler stays out there with Backlund and Glencross. Scrivens goes back to the net temporarily. Now he'll try and get out with 48 seconds to go, but he's got to deal with Glencross, who gets to Hudler. Pass to Backlund. Backlund shot stopped by Scrivens. Rebound stopped. Here is Brody stepping into a shot, and he scores. T.J. Brody makes it 5-2 for Calgary.
Ben Scrivens did all he could do there, Kelly.
Yeah, there's no question about it. The Flames smelt blood. They went after it, and there was a pretty good 3-on-1 originally, and then Backlund's going to ultimately get the shot. But Ben Scrivens is left out to dry here. Doesn't know who to defend, and then a rolling puck right out to the slot, and Brody doesn't get all of it, actually, and that's maybe the reason why I gave Scrivens more of a problem. Just a bit of a fluttering puck.
And all the Oilers came back to the net, but didn't pick up anybody.
No. First power play goal of the year for the Calgary Flames. They were 0 for 4 against Vancouver last night. Brody from Glencross and Backlund in 1920. And the Calgary Flames will draw first blood in this Battle of Alberta.
By a very impressive third period, very aggressive, and Kelly, you said simple game that worked for them.
Yeah, hasn't it been simple this third period? You know, we talked about the Oilers' first 42 minutes looked great, but you know, the Flames just stuck to the game plan, got pucks deep.
Calgary Flames win their first game of the season. They even their record at 1-1. And the Oilers drop their home opener, season opener. Final score in this one, Calgary 5, Edmonton 2. We'll be back with the 3 stars after this.
Rogers Oilers Hockey. Brought to you by Rogers, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers and the NHL. By Molson Canadian, die-hard fan and proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers. By Ford, official automotive partner of the Edmonton Oilers. By Scotiabank, you're richer than you think. And by the Rexall family of pharmacies.